Hi there and welcome to my channel Reviews with Jules. Today I am going to be teaching you the top mistakes to avoid if you are a first-time filmmaker. So let's get into it. Mistake number one is not collaborating. Yes, at first you might want to be working on your own and you might be more than capable of doing that. However, working in a team is the way to avoid not collaborating, and it sounds ridiculously easy. But in a way that you can do this, you can join some Facebook groups of first-time filmmakers, or, one in your region. Say, I'm from Kent, I could type in Filmmakers in Kent and start to network and collaborate with people, because you are going to want to make whatever you're going to make the best version it can be. And by working with other people, you'll be able to progress that idea, that script idea, or just that initial concept to be a fully fledged film, TV, whatever you want to make, and it will be the best version it could be. Mistake number two is not listening to your actors. And this is more predominantly for the directors out there, but especially if you're a first-time filmmaker in any sort of role, not listening to the actors is a big no-no. If you're a director, the actors have spent lots of time reading the script, taking it all apart, understanding their character inside and out, and although you have created the character, they are living the character. The ways to avoid this mistake is to just listen to your actors. Have a meeting, set aside some time with them to just have an informal chat, to ask them questions of their character, what they think of the script, because just having that open dialogue with them will make them trust you a little bit more and achieve the best performances from them. The other thing that you can do is take an acting class yourself. Now, whether you want to be in front of the camera or not, just by doing this, if it's just like a lesson or an after, evening class thing, then you're going to understand what it's like to be in their position, to understand how to take a character apart, because that's what they're doing. So then you'll know in turn what questions to ask, and it will make your life easier too. The third mistake is continuity, and even big time filmmakers still make it, like this example, or this example, or even this example, if you get my drift. So continuity is when something is not the same. So for example, if you were to shoot two girls dancing around in a bedroom, but you shot it over a 2-day period, then you will need it to be exactly the same as if you shot it all in one go. And the way to avoid this is simply employ a script supervisor. Their job is to look over the script, make sure that it's all timed right, to make sure, that there are no slip-ups within the dialogue, to make sure that all the props and all the actors still look the same. So definitely employ one of those to avoid this mistake. The fourth mistake is not doing your research. Now, if you've thought of the idea and it's your script or concept, you might think, oh, I don't really need to know much because I've written it. I know everything about everything to do with the script. Well, think again, because the script is just the start of it. If you are representing a certain background or anyone specific, then you need to make sure that you've done your research to fact check that and make sure that the representation is completely on point. You need to make sure that, if you're shooting something in a time period like the 1960s, if you've got a piece of furniture that's from the 1970s, then that's not in the correct period of time because they're technically living in the future. So you need to make sure that you can do your research before starting to film. The way to avoid this mistake is simply just get on your laptop, do some research, or even go out and talk to some people. So if you wanted something that's in the 60s, for example, like I said with the furniture, then go to a furniture store and ask these people. Or if you're representing a certain background, do a focus group and explain your idea, because they might have something to say, oh, that's actually not right, you need to do this instead. The next mistake is crossing the line. Now, some people even still make this mistake, but this is definitely one that you want to avoid. So let's take, for example, this diagram. So if you see here, you have two subjects who are talking to one another and a red dotted line across the middle, which shows that that is the line. They are talking to each other. Now, on this line that's through these subjects, all the cameras need to be on one side of it, because if you have a camera on the other side of it, then that is crossing that line. Now, this is something that you really will want to avoid, because if you do cross the line, then you'll end up having your subjects looking in both the same direction. So it won't look like they are talking to one another, which will look really weird. Let's take my Queen's Gambit review opening as an example. So here are the freeze frames of both the characters, and as you can clearly see here, they are looking at one another. Now, if we were to cross the line, this is what it would look like. Both of them looking the same direction. To avoid this, you need to make sure that you are doing your floor plans, and Keltex have the app to help you with that. And it's basically drawing out your diagrams like the example to plot out where your actors are going to be, where they are looking and who they are looking at, and then also incorporating where your cameras are going to be to make sure that you are not crossing that line. Consider subscribing if you found this video helpful, and my next tip video will be what's in my runner bag. So make sure not to miss that one and hit that notification bell. And in the meantime, you can check out these reviews right over here. See ya!